I can't buy you a Starlight Doll for your birthday, wept the alien mother, until a human stepped in. The toy store window blazed with holographic advertisements, each one more dazzling than the last. Zira pressed her blue hand against the glass, her daughter Lynia beside her, both their faces reflecting in the crystalline surface. Inside, rows upon rows of Earth toys lined the shelves, action figures that moved on their own, building blocks that defied gravity, stuffed animals that purred and chirped with programmed affection. But Lynia only had eyes for one thing. The Starlight Doll, she whispered, her voice filled with a kind of reverence only a 7-year-old could muster. Mama, look at her. She's so beautiful. Zira's heart, so similar to a human's yet beating to a slightly different rhythm, felt like it was cracking. The doll sat on a pedestal in the center display, illuminated by soft pink light. Its hair cascaded in waves of silver and gold, and when it moved, small stars seemed to shimmer around it. The price tag beneath it might as well have been written in a language Zira couldn't read, because the numbers were so far beyond her reach, they became meaningless. 249 credits. She made 30 credits a week cleaning the lower levels of the residential towers. After rent, food, and the medication Lynia needed for her respiratory condition, common among Kalarian children adapting to Earth's atmosphere, there was nothing left. Some weeks, there was less than nothing. Mama? Lynia tugged at her sleeve, her large amber eyes searching Zira's face. Zira forced a smile, though tears threatened at the corners of her eyes. It's very pretty, little star. All the girls at school have one, Lynia said, not with envy exactly, but with a child's simple statement of fact. For my birthday, do you think? The sentence hung in the air, unfinished, but devastatingly complete. Zira knelt down, bringing herself to her daughter's eye level. She cupped Lynia's small face in her hands, feeling the warmth of her skin, the delicate bone structure so like her own. Lynia, her voice broke. She tried again. Your birthday is in 2 weeks, and A sob escaped before she could stop it. The weight of everything, fleeing their dying planet, arriving on Earth with nothing, working herself to exhaustion only to watch her daughter go without, crashed over her like a wave. Here, in front of this glittering symbol of everything she couldn't provide, Zira wept. I can't buy you the Starlight Doll, she managed through her tears. I'm so sorry, my love. I'm so sorry. Lynia's eyes filled with tears too, but she wrapped her thin arms around her mother's neck. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. But it wasn't okay. Zira knew it wasn't. While other children celebrated birthdays with gifts and parties, Lynia would have nothing. Again. Excuse me? Zira looked up, quickly wiping her eyes. A human woman stood beside them, probably in her late 30s, with kind brown eyes and dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. She wore simple clothes, jeans and a jacket, and carried a shopping bag from the toy store. I'm sorry, Zira said quickly, standing and instinctively pulling Lynia closer. We were just leaving. No, please, the woman said, her voice gentle. I couldn't help but overhear. Your daughter's birthday is coming up? Zira nodded, uncertain where this was going. Humans could be kind, but they could also be cruel. She'd experienced both in her 3 years on Earth. The woman smiled at Lynia. How old will you be, sweetheart? 7, Lynia said quietly, half hiding behind her mother's leg. 7. That's a wonderful age. The woman paused, seeming to choose her words carefully. I heard you mention the Starlight Doll. My daughter, she's a bit older now, 14, and she doesn't play with dolls anymore. But when she was 7, that doll was everything to her. Zira felt her cheeks flush with embarrassment. I appreciate your kindness, but I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. The woman interrupted gently. I'm telling you because I remember being where you are. Different circumstances, maybe, but the same feeling. That helplessness when you can't give your child what they want. She looked directly at Zira, and there was something in her expression, recognition, empathy, understanding. My ex-husband left when Sarah was 3. I was working 2 jobs and could barely afford rent. Zira stood very still, listening. A stranger helped me once, the woman continued. Paid for groceries when my card declined at the checkout. I was mortified, but she just smiled and said, pass it forward when you can. So that's what I do now. She reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out a small card. I'm Claire Harrison. I run a community outreach program for refugee families. We help with everything: job placement, language lessons, legal aid. She pressed the card into Zira's hand, but she wasn't finished. From her shopping bag, Claire pulled out a small box. Even wrapped, Zira could tell what it was by the shape. No, Zira breathed. No, I can't. You're not taking, Claire said firmly. I'm giving. There's a difference. She knelt down to Lynia's level. Happy early birthday, sweetheart. Every little girl deserves something special on their birthday. Lynia looked up at her mother, eyes wide and questioning. Zira felt the tears coming again, but this time they were different. She nodded, and Lynia carefully took the box from Claire's hands. Can I open it, Mama? Yes, little star. You can open it. The wrapping paper fell away in strips of silver and blue. Inside was the Starlight Doll, pristine in its packaging, stars glittering around its perfect face. Lynia gasped, then threw her arms around Claire so suddenly that the woman almost lost her balance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Claire hugged her back, laughing. You're very welcome. Zira couldn't speak. The lump in her throat was too large, the emotion too overwhelming. She managed to mouth thank you to Claire, who simply smiled and squeezed her shoulder. Call me, Claire said, tapping the card still clutched in Zira's hand. We meet every Thursday evening. We have other Kalarian families in the group. You're not alone here, Zira. You don't have to be. As Claire walked away, disappearing into the evening crowd, Zira looked down at her daughter. Lynia clutched the doll box to her chest like it contained all the treasure in the universe. In that moment, Zira understood that the gift wasn't just the doll. It was hope. Hope that kindness existed. Hope that community existed. Hope that maybe, just maybe, they could build a real life here on this strange blue planet. Mama, look. Lynia held up the doll, having freed it from its packaging. When you press her hand, she glows. Sure enough, soft starlight emanated from the doll's palm, casting little points of light across Lynia's delighted face. Zira pulled her daughter close, breathing in the scent of her hair, feeling the weight of her small body against her hip. Happy birthday, little star, she whispered. They walked home together through the city streets as the sun set behind Earth's tall buildings. Lynia chattered excitedly about her new doll, making up stories and adventures. And Zira, for the first time in a very long time, felt something she'd almost forgotten existed. She felt hope. In her pocket, Claire's card seemed to pulse with possibility. Tomorrow, she would call. Tomorrow, she would reach out. Tomorrow, she would start building the life she'd always dreamed of giving her daughter. But tonight, she would simply watch Lynia play with her Starlight Doll and let herself believe that the universe, despite all its cruelties, still contained moments of unexpected grace.